rising ready for the fight. From the court to the field, they shine so bold. With every move, the stories unfold. We're cheering on the youth from the start to the win. Giving them the mic, let their voices begin. Interviews and highlights, we got it all. GN Sports Show, where the young stand tall. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show.
Our vision is to become the premier platform for showcasing and empowering young student athletes, providing them with the tools and exposure to excel both in sports and life, while shaping the next generation of confident, media-savvy leaders. The GN Sports Show is dedicated to highlighting the talent and stories of young student athletes across all sports disciplines. We aim to equip them with vital media exposure and public speaking skills, helping them grow into confident individuals both on and off the field. Through engaging interviews, mentorship, and real-world media experiences, we strive to foster personal and professional development that supports their athletic journeys. Before this week's episode, here is an endorsement from our benefactor, Ambassador Calvin Ayre of the Calvin Ayre Foundation. Mr. Calvin Ayre, founder of the Calvin Ayre Foundation, is a visionary philanthropist and sports advocate dedicated to empowering youth through sports and education. As the benefactor behind the GN Sports Show, the CAF ID Combine, and the CAF Advanced Academy, Mr. Ayre, through his foundation, is committed to fostering talent and creating pathways for success across the globe.
We do a lot of sports type scholarship work and charity work through my foundation, and we also spend a lot of resources on academics. And I think the two go hand in hand. And as much as I think we do a lot for our size of our organization in Antigua, there's never such a thing as too much support for those two areas. So I would welcome anybody else in Antigua that's watching this to join with us and get a hold of us and see if you can contribute in any way. And specifically with respect to youth violence, which actually is a problem in the country I came from as well, in Western Canada, it was actually quite a violent place to grow up. Sports was a path for students and children that didn't want to be involved in that. So I think sports is a great way to complement what we really want your kids focus on is their academics, but sports is just an excellent complement. So yeah, they both go hand in hand as far as I see. I'm a big fan of sports. I've been doing sports my whole life. I still do sports. I was actually out wakeboarding just yesterday here in beautiful Antigua. I think sports are a great place for young people to burn energy. I think you learn a lot through sports, and it's life skills. It's something that you can take with you through your whole life. So I'm a big fan of the program that they have. One of the programs they've got, the scholarship program in particular, I'm attracted to, because it gives children from disadvantaged families paths to reach their sporting goals. But more than that, the show that I've more recently learned about that they're doing, and some of the other programs, I think are very interesting from an aspirational perspective. I often use myself as examples when I'm asked about things, so I'll jump in here again. I was a huge fan of playing hockey when I was young. And of course I played it up until I just couldn't play it anymore. I wasn't competitive. And the majority of people, that's what it is, but it still brings a lot of good with it as you go along. So yeah, I'm a big fan of what they're doing.
GN Sports Show.
And welcome, guys. Welcome back to another episode of GN Sports Show. My name is Jason Cordis. I'm one of your hosts. I'm the founder and president of the CGPGA. And to my right, my fellow host here,
Jonathan Thorogood, administrative assistant at GN Sports Global. We'd just like to take a quick commercial break to thank the sponsors of Generation Next FC. When we return, we'll be speaking with two of our under-13 players, Zion Phillip and Chase Gardner, along with the under-13 coach, Shakimba Yaya Williams. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. We would like to thank the sponsors of Generation Next, Fruta, Antigua Masonry Products, Kenneth A. Gomez Insurance Agency, Island Photo, and Francis Trading Agency. And welcome back to the GN Sports Show. As we said before we went on break, we have two of our young, talented under-13 players, Zion Phillip and Chase Gardner. Welcome, guys.
Good night. Good night.
you all seem shy, man. You always talk all you talk on the football field and all you can't say anything. So let me ask you guys, you all are here under 13 players, right? You all stepping up into the big leagues. What made you get involved with football, Chase?
I started playing from an early age because of my brother, and I found football really fun, and I kept playing up to my age now.
Okay.
And what about you, Zion?
I started off because my grandpa, he really encouraged me to play because I always seen him watching and kicking the ball.
Yeah.
And it really made me wanted to play.
Nice.
So, Chase, let me ask you something. What do you see yourself doing in the future? Do you want to be a professional? Is your goal to be a professional footballer, or do you want to do something else career-wise?
My goal is to be a professional footballer.
And if that doesn't work out, let's just say you have to have a plan B. What would your plan B be?
9 to 5.
You're gonna work 9 to 5. What about you, Zai?
I would also like to become a professional footballer.
And if that doesn't come to fruition, what else? What other career you have on the sideline?
A real estate lawyer.
Oh,
A real
very
estate lawyer.
good.
Like that answer.
What about your favorite football team? What's your favorite football team, Chase?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Oh, boy.
I don't think we've ever heard Arsenal
I don't
so
think
far.
we have, no.
What about you, Zai?
FC Barcelona.
Spanish team. And what's your favorite? Who's your favorite player? I'm assuming it's somebody in Arsenal.
No.
No? Was
Messi.
it Messi?
That's really messy, are you, boy? That's really messy. Zai, let me hear you.
Gavi.
Gabby from Arsenal. Okay. Midfielder. And you play that same position? You play in the midfield as well?
Yes.
So obviously, okay.
What position you play, Chase?
On the wing. Anywhere on the wing.
Anywhere on the wing. You like that? You like the adrenaline and the speed going down the wing?
Yeah,
What about the responsibility? Because you sometimes have to take that ball and bring that ball inside. You're comfortable with all of that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What school do you go to?
St. Anthony Secondary School.
Oh, what form?
First one.
First form.
So
What about
just
you, Zion?
Antigua Grammar School.
What form you in?
Second form.
Second form. You have a favorite teacher?
No, not really.
Not really.
Actually, yeah.
I want all the teachers in SAS to make sure you don't get A this term. You don't have one favorite teacher. Zion, you have a favorite teacher?
It's actually between three. Miss Hector, Miss Rodney, and Mr. Ford.
Okay. What was your favorite subject?
Maths.
Everybody
Math
likes
is math.
boy.
Yeah. Come on.
What about you?
Math.
Oh,
I thought Chase was going to be different. No. You were looking at me. I thought math's your favorite?
Yeah.
Something about counting big money when all they grow up, all they want to be
Counting.
mathematicians.
Yes, a lot of mathematicians going on. So let me ask you this question. We spoke about the positions that you have to play. Obviously, sometimes in sports, you go to different teams. Some of the matches may be different. You have to move in different positions. Let me ask you, Zion, is there any other position that you can play other than midfield?
Right wing.
Right wing? Or just right wing? And what about you, Chase?
Defensive midfield.
Defensive midfield? I thought the other day you played centre back as well.
Yeah, anything.
So it's any position. Yeah, very diverse.
yeah.
And I hear it's a big you play for SAS as well.
Yeah.
Are you a goal scorer?
Yeah.
You know why I'm asking you. Let me know how much goals you score for SAS lately.
I can't remember.
It's
too
much.
many.
Too much. Who you play for, Zion, other than John X, obviously?
Nobody else.
You don't play for school league?
No.
Wow.
You don't play school league? Okay.
Trying to focus. Let me focus on Gen X and get to the top spot and move on from there.
Can't blame him at all. Can't blame him at all.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a big pleasure talking to you guys. And we hope to see you guys when you go up to under, 15 is the next? Under 16?
Yes, under 15,
Yeah,
yes.
under 15. I hope we see you guys shining as usual. All right? Don't give up your focus. And if you want to be a professional footballer, hey, just remember when all you reach there. our little pass, our little tickets.
Remember us.
Remember Jonathan and I. All right? So until next time, we'll see you all.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. And welcome back, viewers. As you can see to my right, we have the under-13 coach, Shakimba Yaya Williams. Welcome, Yaya.
Good night to all.
Welcome, welcome. Now, Yaya, you have been with Generation Next for a while. You've been the under-7 coach, and now you're the under-13 coach. Now, what do you, and I know you coach other clubs as well that we're going to get into, but what actually made you have the love for football then? What gave you the love for football, and where did it start? So where is it now?
Well, I born in the ghetto, and growing up, there's a lot of kids have a lot of free time doing being idle, smoking, etc. And from a young age, even when I was going to high school, I was a coach. I coached InspAyre under 13, 14 with guys similar age group. So I used to be coaching them, and then I decided to take it further from InspAyre. And then I got a job with Generation X when I just finished school. Epilos and Edwards and Richard Santos gave me the opportunity to excel in that department, in which I take. I think I'm working now with Generation X for probably 10 years, maybe 10 years.
Wow.
And I also formed my own football club named No Evolution, in which we produce a few national players over the years.
That's great.
Etc. Win a few leads, and yeah. So my drive is still the same from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, just to develop our future athletes and to make them something better in life.
He said that real modest. Yeah, win a few leagues and things, and you know, like that's a big feat, man. As you say, you grew up from very humble beginnings, and you've gone through so many chapters of your life to having your own team that has win leagues and stuff like that, and even pushed kids all to be in the national football team. That's crazy. Yeah. And we also know that you were one of the coaches that went and toured with some of our Gen X students to England.
Yeah. I wish we could go again this month. It was a wonderful experience being with the boys and being the setup. Like the setup is a bit different than what we do here. Yeah. But in terms of football and whatever, it's the same thing. Because football speak one language, and I think we learn a few different ways of coaching on that side and here. And it was good. The guys didn't really enjoyed it. I myself enjoyed it.
Right. So going back to that, you said that you went away. You went away for how long were you away for?
It was 12 days.
12 days. So you got a good amount of time. So when you were away for those 12 days, you as a coach, you were able to go to these training sessions, pick up on some of the knowledge that the coaches up there would have to be able to bring back and now relate to the players that we have down here?
Yeah. There were several different coaches. The coaching style is a bit different though than to what we do here, but it's still the same information. But it was good. It was good being there in the cold and have to shiver a few times, but it was good.
What was because I'm trying to envision it, and I want our viewers to even try to envision it. What was the feeling? What was the general feeling? You enter into this huge, because I'm sure these schools, they're huge, and they all the grounds, everything is huge compared to what we have here, what you're accustomed to. How was that feeling? That entering these schools that look giant and the grounds that look giant, how was that feeling to you and the kids?
It was a nice experience, a nice feeling. I myself, I wanted one or two of our boys to get in the dance, so I was excited to be there. I even get up in morning times and go to their classes to ensure that they're being there. Yeah. But it was good. The food wasn't all that, but it was good.
Obviously different from what we have down here.
You didn't get no duckna and herring and all kind of thing.
I couldn't find that no way.
So what you spoke about having your own team and stuff like that, New Evolution. What is your hopes now for New Evolution going forward?
Like I say, it's just to get the players out, get them an opportunity to play professionally. If not, try to get one and two of them into a school or something. It's a one-man thing. It's me alone doing it. Sometimes I can't be ungrateful to reach Santos, because every league, every time we have a league or a tournament, to ensure that I'm okay in terms of jerseys or etc. If I don't have a jersey, he will lend me the one that he have, and I'm grateful for that. But going forward, I would like to get my players out for exposure, etc.
What area is New Generation in? Was the geographic location that they come from?
We train at Radio Range.
At Radio Range?
Yeah, so I would just say in that area, Radio Range area.
So guys, let me tell you all something. All the Antiguans and even non-Antiguans, we have New Evolution who's training out of Radio Range. They win championships and stuff like that. They are doing really great. It's a great cause getting kids from the hood to grow. And if you guys have anything you want to donate, anything you want to sponsor to help this team and the players go forward, get in contact with us, get in contact with Coach Ayre, and let's do something for the kids.
Yes.
That's great.
All right.
So now going off of just before we finish up, we spoke a little bit about your coaching career. Are you still a player? Do you still play football yourself?
Yeah, probably the best player in the world right now.
The best player? Lord.
Yeah, I do. I still play with my club, Old Road. I've been there for the past 3 seasons.
Right.
It's a wonderful club, nice people and stuff like that. The competition just started. We played 2 games, we win 2 out of 2. So we probably sitting at the top there. So I'm looking forward for the duration of the season.
What position you play for, Old Road?
I'm a centre back, but I can play 6 as well. Yeah, but I'm a good centre back.
So you're not a goal scorer?
I chip in now and then.
You're responsible for the goals being scored?
Yeah,
Every now and again. Well, with that being said, we would like to thank Shakimba Yaya Williams again for making the time out to be on the show. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot.
And thank you for all you're doing to help uplift the youths, both in Generation Next and in your community. All right, so thanks a lot, and we'll see you next episode.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah. We'd like to take a quick break where we would like to thank the sponsors of the Gomez Netherlands Insurance Youth Football League, Kenneth A. Gomez Insurance Agency, Netherlands Insurance, Nestle's Milo, and AS Bryden and Sons. And welcome back, viewers. With me on my right, we have Ariel Derrick, the Assistant Marketing and Communications Manager of AS Brydens. AS Brydens is the agent for Fruta and Milo, Fruta being the platinum sponsor for GNFC, and Milo the gold sponsor of the Gomez Netherlands Insurance Youth Football League. AS Brydens is also the sponsor of our media class. Again, welcome, Ariel.
Welcome, Ariel. It's nice to have you here.
Nice to have
Ariel, let's jump right into it and let me ask you a question. Can you share the vision behind AS Brydens and the reason for partnering with Generation Next, Generation FC, and how does that align with the company values and the mission that they have?
Well, our partnership with Generation Next Football Club aligns seamlessly with Brydens' commitment to supporting youth development and supporting future leaders. This collaboration speaks to our core mission of contributing positively to the communities we serve, and we are happy to be a proud sponsor of Generation Next for the past almost 10 years.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for that.
17, yeah.
Wow.
We started in 2017, so 2027 make 10 years.
Okay.
Wow. So big thank you to AS Brydens.
Just thank you for that.
Yes.
AS Brydens, and I hope you're here for another 20, I put more 10 and 20 years.
Of course. So with Fruta being the platinum sponsor of Generation Next, how does Bryden see the partnership supporting the development of young athletes in football?
So this partnership is not about just improving athletic performance, but it's about instilling important life skills like teamwork and resilience. And Brydens believes, as well as Fruta, that investing in these young players will nurture their potential to contribute to the growth of football in the community and the growth of themselves as they develop.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, we all know when we look at the world scope of everything, the young children need to evolve into something more than just a sportsman or whatnot. And then being involved in that, you need to be like a full, well-rounded athlete or individual, right?
Yes.
So beyond sponsorship, I know Brydens is actively involved in our education initiatives here at GNFC. And I just wanted you to elaborate some more on the public media tutoring program that we have, because we have a tutoring program, guys. So I just want you to elaborate a little bit more on that for our viewers.
Yes, of course. So beyond sponsorship, we're committed to enriching the lives of these athletes by preparing them for life beyond football, as you mentioned. So the public media tutoring program was designed to develop their communication skills, helping them to articulate their experiences, their goals, their challenges in a professional setting so that they can be prepared for interviews like this.
Yep.
Yes.
Just had the kids on earlier.
Yep.
They were good, but after the media tutoring, we'll see more confidence maybe with them on the screen. So this program also teaches them to confidently engage with the public, and the media, fostering skills they can have throughout their lives as they move on as players or as real estate agents. So we're also very pleased to have Miss Nicola Barreto, who ever so graciously came on, very excited to help out with this. And she has a strong connection to Brydens through her son, Ricardo Drew. That's his soul. He was a Carib brand ambassador for us for years, so she was happy to come along with us. And she brings invaluable expertise and passion to our efforts, and we're thrilled to be working with her for this project.
We spoke to a guest earlier on before, like other episodes, and they spoke about the necessity of having your talent become a skill, because you can't really go anywhere solely with talent. You have to make it, create it into a skill and let that skill take you into places. And this speaking program and communication program is one of the major stepping stones, I would assume, because it helps them to become more not just focused, but more independent and have more confidence in themselves. So they learn how to speak and how to articulate themselves and so forth. So this is a big thing. It's a big thing,
And it even,
Brydens.
and it even can open up opportunities, because you see players moving on to being sports newscasters.
Very, very true.
The mic at,
very,
it
very
happens
true.
in all sports, so it's a really great opportunity for them.
Yeah, very, very true.
So we were speaking about earlier, Brydens is the local agent for Milo, is also the goal sponsor for the Youth Football League. How important is youth development to Brydens' long-term marketing strategy?
So for Brydens and Milo, we have a commitment to youth development, especially in sports. This commitment is rooted in Milo especially's brand mission to promote an active and healthy lifestyle for young people. We are happy as the agents for Milo to be bringing this to the people of Antigua and Barbuda, and to the youth and to the communities throughout the island.
That's great. We just want to say thank you so much.
You again,
thank you to Brydens. Thank you, Ariel, for being here and letting everyone know, you know what I mean, one of the driving forces behind our growth and evolution. So thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having Brydens. We're happy to be here.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thank you again.
So let's take a break. We'll be back soon. And welcome back to the GN Sports Show, and we have a treat for you tonight. Tonight we have two of Antigua's most beautiful ambassadors. You know what I mean? We have Miss Kimberly Percival and Miss Melissa Seaford. Welcome back, guys. Let me first say, this is the first interview that they had in person since they came from international competition. So, yay to GN Sports Show, man.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
I have to say Mrs. before my husband.
Oh, sorry, sir. Mrs. Sorry, I am very sorry.
Okay.
So let's go straight into it. So let's go to the first question to Mrs. Kimberly Percival. Let's talk a little bit about your career journey. What initially inspired you to pursue your career in bikini fitness, and how did you evolve from a national competitor to an international champion?
Honestly, my first venture on stage was a little haphazard. Typically for us, we're in the gym and somebody nudges you, hey, ever thought about competing? I was terrified. I refused to do it. Me in a bikini on a stage, when and how? No, it wasn't happening. But I remember attending my first nationals in 2012. And at that time, bikini wasn't a thing yet, here at least. And I saw Rosianne, Mary John, I think Yvette, a few other athletes competing, and I kicked myself the entire time because, wow, I can do that. I want to do that. And I competed in the Torturous Classic the December following that event in August, and competed every consecutive year since then. I mean, it was not planned. I had no knowledge of it prior, but after the first competition and seeing it was chaos, I starved myself, I overworked myself, but just seeing the changes physically and the changes mentally in terms of my level of determination, and with every show consequent to that, the same thing, the progress, little by little, I think that is kind of what lit the fire for me. And I got to a point where I realized, okay, it will take some time, there'll be some progress, you get some encouragement, you see the transition, and I just made a decision a day that if I want people to invest in me, I want people to believe in me, I have to do it first. So
Yes.
a lot of the first shows, venturing to Barbados for the first time was out of pocket, because
wow.
you're starting off. Bodybuilding was a little bit more niche then. Bikini was also very new, so made a decision to invest in something that I enjoyed and loved, and here we are on the other side, and it's paid off tremendously.
So, Melissa, we're going to have to ask you the same thing. We have to talk about, career evolution and how was your journey in bikini fitness, and how has that evolved since the early stages in Central America and Caribbean Championships since, 2019 and so forth?
So I would have essentially gotten my pro card, I want to believe, quite early when you compare it to some other athletes. But it was someone mentioning it to me in the gym. Hey, you look like you work out really hard. You should go in for the show. But it was like, deep down inside, it's like, oh yeah, I would love to do that, but no, I can't do that. And I would have met Adrian Merrick, who is my trainer to this day. He is a former bodybuilder, so I would have watched him compete I missed bikini fitness, so I actually went to that. My first nationals was in 2016. I missed bikini.
Okay.
I saw a figure, which is a more muscular category, and I said, hey, I want to do that category. My body does not want to go in that direction at all. I just want to put that out there. You recognize where you fall in, and I trained for bikini fitness. I said, hey, Merrick, I want to do what you do. Like, I want to push myself. I came back home from living away, and nothing really looked well on me. I was living in a cold climate in San Francisco. So only when I came back home, I realized the bikinis didn't fit the way I wanted it to fit. I was what you called skinny fat.
Okay.
I'm really slim, but the fat was in all the wrong places. So I was really determined, and I used the show to kind of push me, to diet harder. And then my first show, I came second when I thought I was last. Realistically speaking, I didn't really look the part, Kimberly was the PRO at the time. She gave a lot of information. I attended every workshop, seminar over the years. Fast forward to me winning my pro card in 2020. I can honestly say that I did not see the pro card that time. I just knew I always wanted to keep showing up. Like Kimberly, since the first time stepping on stage, I've stepped on stage every year since, and it's just to get better. Nothing has really changed in that regard. I just want to continue getting better and continue growing and pushing the envelope. But the pro card wasn't in sight that night, but I won 3 titles in that one night. Never winning anything prior to that. I do not have a national title to my name or a local show title to my name, but I stepped like Kimberly, wanting to step outside and push yourself, and I went out there and dominated my height class, the overall, and won my first pro show in the same night. So historically, like, I feel like from that moment, I think the only thing that changed is that, hey, I can get even better than this. So continuing to fuel that fire. It was kind of like everything coming together all at once. Like, obviously people question what you're doing, like, why are you pushing so hard for this? I'm not getting it. Like, what are you getting out of this? But it kind of like answered a lot of questions, maybe for other people and even for myself, like, what am I fighting for? And I'm like, oh wait, I now can say I'm a champion. I didn't even know how to process that feeling, to be quite honest, because it had never occurred prior. But definitely, it doesn't make sense as you're doing it, but it comes together some kind of how. The universe, when it actually speaks back to you.
Yes, exactly.
Makes you know that all the hard work was worth it.
Always.
So, Kimberly, obviously, you guys have had a lot of success over the years, entering in different competition, one of them being the Arnold Classic in Europe twice in 2021 and 2024, which is obviously a remarkable achievement. How did these victories impact your career, and how did they differ from each other?
So 2021 would have been just after COVID. I would have earned my pro card along with Michelle, which is Melissa's twin, Liana, Sharonda, a few of us at a regional show in Barbados in 2019. So we would have earned our cards in 2019, and then Melissa went off in COVID year and everybody was running from the airport and got hers. So 2021 would have been the first time competing as a pro following earning that pro card.
Yes.
I would have gone to St. Martin won that show, and that's what qualified me for World Championships and for Arnold's that year. I mean, I remember it was a 4-member team, myself, Melissa, Michelle, and Bernard, my husband, and we were fighting tooth and nail to get to this event because, like, listen, we qualified for Worlds, we don't know how we're doing it, but we're getting there. And I remember having people in my ear, where y'all going? It's COVID, it's still out there, have to go take a vaccine and take tests and this, and why are you bothering with that? And it just knew in my heart of hearts, like, it's my first Worlds that I qualified in my debut year as a pro, and I needed to do it. I needed to see where I fell, how I stood up against these other athletes that have probably been on stage 20 more times. And I remember going to this show just wanting to see an experience and say, hey, look at the stage, not having any expectation, but just wanting to bask in the moment of almost feeling like you've arrived, finally stepping into that door as a pro athlete. And hearing my name announced.
Wow.
Well, first of all, I remember making top 10, and I was over the moon. Top 10, you know, and then top 5. And then it was me and one other girl. And as much as it was me and one other girl, I was there. And there's a picture on the newspaper, and I was posted. I literally looked like somebody gut punched me when they called my name, because it was so unexpected and just a breathtaking feeling. You know, imagine we came in as nobody knew us from a little 108. You know, you're on stage with lots of other athletes who have so much more stage time, so much more familiarity with the judges, and to have climbed that ladder and then have that moment again in my debut year, I don't know how to explain how that felt. And then, you know, returning as a defending, I think in 22 was a lot of pressure for me. And if I'm being honest, I think the pressure got to me a little bit. I could see it on my face, the nervousness, and it's just living up to what you would have achieved previously. 23 was a little bit better, improved, still figuring things out. And then 24, you know, 2 years later, having battled for that first and second spot. And again, that is no easy feat. So coming back with new faces, new athletes, new girls, everybody's working hard, everybody's improving, and still walking away with second. Coming back in 23, I remember somebody did an interview and they said, do you think you'll ever get back on top? And it was so deflating, you know, because I just came second in the world. Come on, guys, you know, amongst these bigger countries that have their own gym facilities and their own whatever the case is, like, kind of like, you know. And so 24, again, very, very, very strong lineup of girls. Everybody brought their A game, and again, standing there and hearing my name called, it was almost like gratification for still following through, following those 2 years, and the naysayers, oh, she'll never get it back. And it was a fluke the first time around. And, you know, so 24 feels very similar to 21, but in a different way, because it was almost like that solidified gratification that, okay, you did it again, you belong, you really deserve to be here, almost. So 2 different experiences, but just very fulfilling feelings nonetheless in different ways.
You too, Melissa, you've had your annual classic experience.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Not
One of your highest
ones.
achievements coming in 2023. How was that for you? You know, coming from being in the, you know, before the last 10 to being third. You know, that's miraculous.
Honestly, my journey has been slow, and maybe some might think painstaking, but I would not have wanted it any other way. I've slowly crept up the ladder by not wanting to reinvent the wheel any year, just try to get a little bit better. It was always me getting a little bit better. So for my first 2 times, I was outside the top 10. The first time, totally outside the top 10 for sure, because I had won my pro card just 1 week prior. So I was just like, wow, I got to invited to Coney Island, so I just want to go on the ride, you know. I am enjoying it. And I remember going on stage and coming off, and I'm like, oh my God, there's still hairpins in my, because I was fangirling the whole time. I was just watching the girls that, you know, I follow on social media who are like Kimberly said, they're veterans in this. Some of them, this is all that they do, compete. So that first year, okay, fine. I didn't have expectations. The second year, I battled for top 10. I wasn't quite my best self. And that was the year I watched my sister claim third in the world and Kimberly get first. So I said, no. I need it. First of all, it's one thing to watch someone like Kimberly achieve it and then seeing my sister that looks exactly like me.
I was not going to say that, right?
It hits a little different. It's like, okay, you are the problem. So I needed, my sister is very much meticulous and does everything to a science. And I recognized that prep, that is what was missing with my preps. So she's helped me catapult, the way I go about doing things. 'Cause I'm working just as hard as she is. I'm dieting just as hard. But guess what? I am munching on an extra club social and I am not meeting my protein. Because I'm an intuitive, I would be honest, intuitive dieter. I was not weigh every gram of rice, but guess what? My body is a bit stubborn, so I need to weigh every gram. So I think that was the change, that 2021st year, like watching, I don't think anybody besides Bernard could understand how it felt sitting in the audience, just two Antiguans side by side, watching two Antiguans be on the podium. I don't think anybody could understand besides him. So coming home, I took it that much more serious. So fast forward to the next Worlds was 6th place and I was over the moon. I can't tell you, like, just being outside the top 5 and then pushing and saying, hey, I can do better. It's always that I can do better. You can do better. And then coming back with that third, bronze. And my sister has a bronze, so we're twinning with our bronze medals at Worlds. It's honestly, I can't really put it into words, just seeing yourself slowly inch up there. And this year I would have captured top 5 again. And while it wasn't better than third or second or even first, it was my best physique to date. And I think you can't lose sight of the placement is important, but it's always the growth. You as an athlete, and I am not disappointed in my performance by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I am so blown away by what I took on stage. So it motivates me even more to, let's see what we can do next year.
Well, the Antiguan people are proud, I can tell you that for sure. You know what I mean? But let me ask you, and this is I don't even know what to call it, but Kimberly doesn't have it, but you have a twin. Right? A twin, guys. You have a twin who's doing the same thing you're doing, something that involves your physical appearance, and you guys are twins and you have that. So you're into the same genre of career path, and your twin is going forward. There must be a lot of pressure on you, because how she could get that? She look like me, I look like her, I built like her. That means I could get the same thing. You know what I mean? That pressure, did that squat upon you any point in time?
No, I don't think so, because I guess we are different, and I guess it comes from our upbringing, from our parents. It's just like, be happy for your family, and me and my sister are very close. So watching her, she by the way, I started bodybuilding before my twin sister. She earned her pro card before me.
Wow.
Remember, Kimberly said she earned it in 2019.
Yes. And you had it in 2020.
She beat me then. Wait, my sister has a Cinderella story. Her second time on stage, she won her pro card.
Wow.
Nobody has done that, I don't think.
And I think that's a testament to everybody's journey.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah. Let me tell you, she blew, not only me, she blew everyone away. It's not just me, her sister. And I live with her, so I watched the extra diligence she plays. So when I tell you, alarm go off, I'm hitting snooze, and she's out the bed. And honestly, I have to thank her for my success. I've gone on and been even more successful because I compete a lot more than her. But I have to thank her, watching her. She gave me the cheat sheet.
Wow.
And so me watching her, I'm grateful. So watching her get her pro card and third in the world, like it's just, it never felt like pressure to me. It more was just like a realization for me that, hey, you can do this and you can do it even better. Just apply yourself. And it goes back to the winner is willing to do. What is the winner willing to do? And the winner is willing to do it what you're not willing to do. So I'm not willing to weigh that last
That
meal.
last meal, yeah.
She's
And
willing
she's
to
willing
do
to do
it.
it.
And I realized that was
the
the
difference.
missing piece to my puzzle.
Yeah.
So just before we wrap up, I'll ask one last question to Kimberly. I know we can be here all night,
Yeah.
Mr. Cordis, because the amount of achievements that they both have. we can
The
be asking
accolades are among us.
Yeah, but just to speak a little bit about the legacy and the impact. What legacy do you hope to leave behind in the fitness and bodybuilding world, both in Antigua and Barbuda and internationally?
I remember competing in bikini with one other person on stage. I have not seen that for nationals for a very long time. And I think what I want to leave behind, or what I want to create, is a highway for bodybuilding.
Yes.
We have progressed over the years since I've started. Like I said, I think when people heard the word bodybuilding, they automatically thought big, brawly men and women. Now, if you ask any Antiguan to name 5 pros, they can. They know what the various categories are. Same thing with corporate sponsorship. So what I'm hoping for with all the giving of myself time and effort and diligence of putting yourself out there and is to pave a way where bodybuilding can be elevated to a more first tier sport. It will also kind of dismiss some of the misconceptions that women have about our sport, or even another more male dominated sport. Just goes to show that you can come in as a female in one of those sports and make an impact and create a space for other females as well. I want to walk with bodybuilding when I get to that point and feel like I can sit and smile and know that I contributed to where bodybuilding is now.
I got you.
The progression of our sport, the fact that we have 21 pros.
Wow.
Now, so to go from stepping on stage with one other female to now so many other people becoming inspired in their own way and putting themselves out there and earning their pro cards, where in the Caribbean, I think we have the most pros across English and probably maybe not Spanish, but the English-speaking Caribbean. Even that first year where we represented 2021, we were the only Caribbean athletes there.
Wow, that's amazing.
This year, I think Melissa and I were the only Caribbean females on stage at Worlds as well, too. The year before, we did see a peak from Barbados and Jamaica, and we had a good Caribbean representation, but to be very honest, I think Antigua has been the most consistent in taking up space on those stages, and I think that's the legacy I want to leave behind, is that at the end of the day, somebody's going to look back and say, hey, when it was just one of them, they still did it. When it was 2, they still did it. When it was 12 of them, they still did it. They still pushed, and maybe they didn't get a sponsor, but they pulled their own curse, and they tried to help somebody else and pull them along. And even the dynamic that Melissa and I have, we compete in the same category. We're both pros, we're on the same stage, but my trips could not be any more pleasurable with anybody besides my husband. So, just again, a lot of people come up to me, and I'm sure to you, and say, hey, Antigua's on a different level, y'all support each other so much, and it's trickling down. So you find a lot more of the Caribbean athletes, they're trying to have the same energy. Even from the international stage, you tend to get a little bit, you can feel the tension, the cattiness. We tend to break the ice, so from different perspectives, paving that way locally, and also just showing what good sportsmanship is, supporting another athlete, and she can succeed, I can succeed, and it doesn't take anything away from either of us. Just all around having a positive impact on the sport and on what it is to be a sports person, sportswoman, sportsman.
Well, if we all build, it's harder to break.
Exactly.
If we don't build, if we build together, we're not going to break. Melissa, same question to you. Your legacy. We want to know what your legacy would be.
I guess perseverance, being resilient, not just overcoming the naysayers around you, but the naysayer that lives inside you. Because
most definitely.
I can tell you, I really do get down on myself sometimes. When you don't see it coming together, you sit down and say, I'm not built for this. I can't do this. But, really having that support system around you, how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. not just to help you, for you to exchange and also help them is so important, because it's the friends, it's your family sometimes.
Yes.
Because I can't tell you how many times people ask me, like, okay, well, what's the end goal here? Like, why are you doing this? Isn't it a lot of money? So people put their fears and concerns on you a lot, and it can be almost heavy at times. Or it would be like, why are you going to a show with Kimberly? It's like just a question like that, you know? My legacy would be to just do it from your heart, do it from the right place, and be your own person in it, and persevere. Do not give up. Because had I given up on my first 2 world attempts, I wouldn't have the titles I have today.
Exactly.
If I let COVID, I mean, I'm a daredevil a little bit. Maybe the COVID one isn't a good, but if I had let that year, they canceled nationals, and I remember I was absolutely heartbroken. I said, why did they cancel nationals? We can still have and I'm a pusher, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna still try and get my pro card. Well, it wasn't even that. I'm still gonna try and compete, because pro card really at CSC is kind of unreachable. But I want to go and try and at least try and win my height class. The year prior, I think I came 3rd. So pedaling back to the legacy, just be resilient and believe in yourself. I can't. And put the people around you who's going to help you execute that.
Well, let me just ask you one thing before we wrap up quickly. Look to that camera and tell the young ladies coming up in life, motivate them in a one sentence, couple words, motivate them.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I'm being put on the spot, but ladies, first and foremost, focus on building yourself. There's nothing that's getting away in the world. Friends are always going to be there. The boys are always going to be there. Social media isn't going anywhere. Put the phone down. Get a pen and a paper. Write those goals down. Like, what really makes you happy. What you want to represent. How you want to be remembered. Things you love to do. And go after those things. And go after it with passion.
Kimberly, stage is yours.
I think very similar to Melissa, and I think it's a big component to being an athlete, is holding yourself accountable. You kind of need to find a balance between holding yourself accountable and still internally motivating yourself. Whatever it is that you know in your heart of hearts brings you joy, you really enjoy it, challenges you despite what other people's opinions are. It may not be a sport, it may be cooking, it may be some other endeavor or pursuit. Lean into it wholeheartedly. Sometimes you just have to trust your gut, trust yourself, and give it your all. And I promise at the end of it, when you take a step back, and it's the perspective, sometimes you don't see, and especially with bodybuilding, you don't see your progress because we obsess over the small things. Once you lean into it, take a step back and consider the wider scale perspective, and you would be surprised to see how much progress you've made, how far you've come. And then if you step a little bit further, you'll be surprised to see how many other persons are following behind in your footsteps, which is on the basis of your inspiration. Sometimes we don't even
know how we
realize how much you impact people until you walk on faith and take a chance and come out on the other side of it. So whatever lights your fire, lean into it, and just know that it's benefiting you and it's benefiting somebody else. You may not see it, but it's happening.
Well, ladies, I don't know how to properly thank you guys for being here. No, you guys you've really elaborated on a lot of stuff, and I like the fact that, because we need to get our young ladies and we need to get our women that are more aggressive towards something that they're passionate about and going after. And it's not only to the women and to the men, but we need to understand, as you mentioned before, it's just not yet.
Not yet. I love that.
It's just not yet. So let's fight for what we believe, because it's put into our lives for a reason. Whatever we dream about, it's already there for us. We just have to go and get it. We don't have it yet. So until next time, just remember, like, subscribe, as again, anything that you think you want us to talk about, anybody you think we want us to interview, any questions, anything you want to do, please jump on our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and we will see you next episode.
GM Sports Show. Interviews, insights, dreams taking flight. We show them how to handle the spotlight, preparing them for the journey ahead. Building confidence. we know them well. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. Show interviews where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show.